Welcome to my kitchen. I'm Gigi and we are cooking up some special football food. This is playoff weekend and we're getting ready for Super Bowl, and of course we have to have all the football food. One of the things I wanted to try out this year was a new take on street corn dip. Everybody's all about the street corn dip these days. So I thought we'll make some street corn dip up, and then we're going to roll it up in our egg roll wrappers and deep fry them. And we're also going to serve it up with a guacamole sour cream dipping sauce, which I'm going to make up real quick. And I got a couple of quick hacks for you to get this done and out of the way so you can get back to the game. So here we go. Let's get started. So first things first, we're going to always do our sauce, get it done, and get it set aside, and so it's ready to go when we get our street corn egg roll wrappers, whatever. I haven't come up with a name for them yet. But anyway, the first hack I want to tell you is, it's January, so avocados are really not in season here, and if I get them, they're so hard I can't mess with them for 3 or 4 days. So what I've decided to do is go ahead and use the already made up guacamole that you get in the refrigerator section in your produce aisle or wherever you get it in your grocery store. Find you some that you like, spicy, not spicy, whatever you want, and that's what we're going to start out with because it's already ready to go. So I have a little, that looks like about a cup of guacamole in there, ready to go. And then I've got a tablespoon of mayonnaise. I don't usually put mayonnaise in my guacamole, but it does make it creamier, so that's what I'm going to use on our dip. I'm also going to freshen it up with some lime, but first I'm just going to mix these two things up and get them nice and creamy. I don't know if you can see me over all my little jars here. Let me move some of this out of the way. And so you can see it gets nice and creamy. And now, that looks good. Put that over there. I've got my good whisk here, and I'm going to start out with some Mexican crema. Now this, if you've never had it, it's just really thick. It's like almost like heavy whipping cream, and it tastes like heavy whipping cream as well. I don't think it is as milky flavor, but it's really good and very thick, as you can see. So I'm going to put a good, half a cup in there. And there we go. Then I'm going to take my whisk and I'm just going to whisk it all together, and I'm going to keep going until I get it the consistency I want. Now I want this to be a loose dip where you take your egg roll and put it down in there. So here's some more. Miss Gracie's come to check us out and see what we're doing. I hope she doesn't want to get on my counter. There we go. Okay, I'm still going. There we go. Now I've got some dip. That's nice and creamy, and I think that'll sit right on top of our little egg rolls just fine. All right, so now, and I'm gonna put some black pepper in here just to give it a little spice. I got my homemade Mexican seasoning here. I'm gonna put a nice splash of that on there. I think that's probably a good 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'm gonna mix that up nice and good. Got my other secret ingredient around here somewhere. There it is. My lime salt. Gonna sprinkle a little bit of that across there. And I got some lime wedges too. So I'm gonna give me a nice big squirt of lime wedge. There we go. Yum. Okay. Our dipping sauce is now ready. And you can just put this out. They can dip chips in it or Fritos or corn chips or whatever, but we're gonna serve it with the these aren't Southwest, these are corn in a wrapper. I don't know. We're going to come up with a name for this by the time I get done here. Let's talk about our ingredients for our corn dip, our corn mixture. Of course, we've got to have corn. So it's not summertime. Sweet corn is not available. I can buy corn on the cob, but it's going to be too much of a mess right now. So my thing was to get me a can of fire roasted corn. You can get it in the canned goods aisle with your corn. Just go over there and look, and you'll see fire roasted, all different kinds of corn. So that's what we have here. And as you can see, I have drained it, and then I have laid it out on a paper towel so that I could get it to a little bit dry, because remember, we're going to put them in an egg roll wrapper, and I don't want them to be wet and juicy. I want it to all stick together in the end. So that's what we're going to have. There's that. We've got some red bell pepper. We've got some jalapeno pepper, and these are all chopped. I've got a little bit of lime sauce because, like I said, I don't want this to get too juicy, so I'm not going to add a lot of liquid to this. I got some lime zest. I got 2 large garlic cloves pressed and 1 large shallot that I have chopped. Also, we will be adding our traditional mayonnaise, Cotija cheese, a little cream cheese, and maybe even some cheddar and Monterey Jack. Now, we'll pull all that together. I'm going to take this over to the stove, and I'm going to start sauteing it up and heat it through. I don't really need it to be hot, because once I wrap it and then I deep fry it, so we're going to go from there. But I do want to soften and blend my flavors together. We will be adding our Mexican seasoning, some salt and pepper to it as well. So I'm going to the stove, and I'll be right. Here goes my onion and my garlic in. I have coated the bottom of this pan with some avocado oil. From the can, I just sprayed it on. Just enough to coat the bottom of my pan. And remember, we're not trying to cook it down too much. We just want to get it nice and soft and blend our flavors together. So then I'm going to go in with my red bell peppers, my jalapeno. This is 1 large jalapeno. That I've took the stem and ribs out of. A little bit of lime zest going in. Mexican seasoning. A little bit of lime salt. And you're going to toss that around a little bit, and that looks really good. And you can see that my shallots and my garlic is trying to get all brown. It's good. And then in just a minute, I'm going to throw in my corn. We're going to heat this through. Then we're going to let it cool for a minute or two. Then I'm going to add in some of my cheeses. All right, I'm ready for my corn. There we go. And like I said, we don't have to roast this one because it's already roasted. It's already fire roasted. But doesn't that look pretty? Nice little confetti, and it smells so good. Turn my fire off. There we go. And while it's still warm, I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of dabs of cream cheese in here. I'm not a big cream cheese person. I do like it, and I do use it mainly for cheesecakes. But I think that if you use too much, you can really overpower your dish. People love cream cheese though. But I want to put a couple of dabs in here to give it a sticky surface so that my other powdered cheeses will stick to it. So that's my goal here. So I'm going to try to melt that down a little bit. just like that. Because I don't want my other cheese melted. I want it to be still kind of hard when I go to roll it up, but I want it to stick to the corn. So I want to make sure everything's coated. I am going to add some mayonnaise to this as well. And there we go. So I think that looks perfect. And now I am going to put this in a different bowl, reset the cameras, and we're ready to wrap. Okay, so we're back to our egg roll wrappers. We're ready to do this. We made egg rolls a couple weeks back. It's basically going to be the same thing. Now, I also have a little bit of mayonnaise because it's traditional to put a little mayonnaise in there. So I'm going to put about a tablespoon. And since I put the cream cheese, I don't know that I need a lot of mayonnaise, but basically I want the mayonnaise and the cream cheese to hold our conchetta cheese on the corn. So I'm going to sprinkle this a good layer across the top because I like a lot. It's probably a good 2 or 3 tablespoons, as you can see. Stir this all up. And I have a little bit of pepper jack over here with some cheddar. And I thought, you know what, that'll be good in there too. So I'm going to throw that in there. A little bit of that. And that'll help it along. So here's all our corn is ready to go. Now I'm just going to do 3 or 4 of these right now. And then I'll do the rest later, but I wanted you to see how they came out. So, there's that. Now remember when I told you about the egg roll wrappers that you can always look on your egg roll wrappers and it will give you the little step-by-step instructions on how to wrap them. So we're going to do that. And here's one here, and I put it on the diamond. I'm just going to take a little dab because this is really creamy. Now see how good that sticks together and it's not wet. I didn't want it to be wet for the egg rolls. It needs to have a little creaminess to it, but not wetness. Okay, so then we can wet our edges. Now remember, we fold in our sides first, tack those up, and then put a little water on the corners here and on the back side here. And we're going to tuck these up just like we did before. And since these are finger foods for the party, I don't want to make them too big. I just want them to where they can pick them up and dip them and eat them. And that looks about right. So there we go. Get some more egg roll wrappers. And they really need to stay moist. So you can put a moist towel over them if you want. I'm just going to do 3 or 4 of these right now for you so you can see. So I always make sure I have one. There, turn it on my diamond. I'm going to take a little bit of my corn mixture. I'm going to put it right in the middle. And that's probably a good 2 tablespoons there. I'm going to wet my corner just so they stick good. And then wet them again. And then get going. And if you've got helpers in the house that can help you, then have at it. And mine just broke, but that's okay. I'm just going to keep going and roll it right up. And it'll stay together. Put a little water on it. And it'll stay together. Alright. I'm going to go heat my oil at the stove. And then I'm going to go over there and fry these up. So I'll see you back in a minute. I'm just going to stand here and keep turning. And keep turning. And keep turning and see I'm thinking our little corn mixture was just right because I'm not having a lot of water in there. So I'm thinking we did good on that. Yep. Those look yummy. They look so good and so crispy. I'm so excited. I can't wait to dip into them. But I thought I would cut one open and see how it looks. So let's cut this sucker open. Oh yeah, look at that cheese pool. There we go. Yummy. I can't wait to taste it. Let's put some guacamole sour cream crema dip on it and give it a good bite. Oh, that is good with the corn and the peppers and jalapenos. I'm going in again. You can do this. And it's so easy. This is yummy. You'll impress everybody. They'll all think you just knocked it out of the park. Enjoy your holidays with the football game coming up. Try out some street corn egg rolls. If you can think of a good name, put it in the comments. I need a new name. See you next week. Bye.